welcome, new video here by me, Neck Over Million, and this is going to be a video where I'm going to talk about my thoughts relating to Roomie Official. Obviously I've been doing some commentary when it comes to music, very layman's friendly, because I will admit I'm not very good at remembering most terminology when it comes to music, but I do at least have an understanding about music. But that's not going to be the subject of this video. The subject is obviously going to be about Roomie Official, and of course two of the videos that's in the screen cap about virtual singers. But before I get into the whole thing, I do want to point out a little something. Because in one of my previous videos, I did present this timeline. And I do admit there's a bit of information that I left out, which is when it comes to the 1958, well, the 1950s. As I said in a previous video, the 1950s was when there was a lot of interesting things done, where a lot of things were done first with computers. Although one thing that I purposefully omitted because I didn't think it would be something I would talk about would be Alvin and the Chipmunks, who, at least according to Wikipedia, is regarded as the first virtual band, which was of course done by accelerating recordings to augment the voice for some of the songs, which was demonstrated first in 1958. Like I said, this is basically as said on Wikipedia. I don't know how accurate this information is, but anyone can look up information, see that Alvin and the Chipmunks did start in 1958, and know that the voice is augmented. And it's basically this fictional band of singing chipmunks. And obviously you could see from my timeline I did make mention of Gorillaz and Daft Punk and hologram shows and stuff like that. But that's not the big thing. The big thing that is a bit of a hang-up for me, well, two things. One, Roomie talked about YouTubers and songs by YouTubers, and it's like, okay, this is interesting. And while there are some who do show their faces that don't get recognized, that I wish would get more recognized, at the very least, he would acknowledge how good people like Joji is, and of course, he also talks about, Logan Paul or Jake Paul, I forgot which one. Seeing how whenever people talk about YouTubers and music, one of those two always comes up. And then he talks about the virtual singers, which I thought, okay, this would be interesting. Is he going to talk about, like, the Vtubers and such, virtual YouTuber, But, as it turns out, no, he's talking more in relation to Vocaloid and the like. But which did get me thinking about something, so I did some looking around, and before I got to the Wikipedia page, which is on virtual bands, I'm looking at my phone for this. Okay, anyways, according to this, people ask, what is a virtual singer? And the answer is, in entertainment, a virtual band, also called virtual idol, virtual singer, virtual group, cartoon idol, blah, 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 is a band or music group whose depicted members are not people but animated characters or virtual avatars. Now, people may be confused. Okay, obviously I'm going to talk about the last one, the virtual avatar element of that. And if anyone's confused, what is a virtual avatar? Well, if you're watching this video, you're literally looking at one, Look at me, swinging my head back and forth, playing with my eyebrows. Although tracking's kind of off today. But enough about my woes about things slowing down thanks to updates. So, one of the things that had fascinated me is how often people would look at virtual YouTubers, aka Vtubers, those who use virtual avatars for like presentation and performance, and think it's all like Vocaloid, rather than looking at it as being similar to Gorillaz or Daft Punk, although Daft Punk's a bit of a stretch to include in this, or even Alvin and the Chipmunks. There are some that are pretty much like Alvin and the Chipmunks, even down to one person in a group being a bit of a troublemaker, which makes watching gaming streams a lot of fun with those people. But one thing that is always fascinating with me and a bit irksome, and I'm not blaming Roomie on this. If anything, I have come to realize this watching Roomie's videos, listening to the videos, even though it shows on the progress bar. I didn't watch much of it. I actually did watch a lot more than the progress bar show. It's just that I'm clicking on different parts so I could listen again and get a better hear of what's being said. But yeah, it's fascinating to me that when it comes to VTubers and the whole thing of people, the element of virtual singers when it comes to those who perform with virtual avatars, how often people don't really think of it as an actual person operating the character, an actual person performing as this character or presenting as this character, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And I'm not saying for Roomie to, and I'm sorry, I keep forgetting what your actual name is. My apologies. But yeah, it does make me wonder how that people, it's like people forget that Alvin and Chipmunks existed or that the Gorillas existed. And while I'm not asking for, okay, I'm jumping around, my apologies, but yeah, while I am not asking for Roomie to do a review on VTubers, although if he wants to, I will have a playlist set up to watch that I'll put in a pinned comment below. But it does make me think about other people, such as what I had said in a previous video about how Galgura, one of those VTubers that I'm talking about, performing with a virtual avatar, as this virtual character. How there are people who are quick to assume that, oh, it's another Vocaloid thing, or oh, it's AI. But maybe it's because with this whole thing with virtual singer, how that's just a blanket term that includes both actual people singing and synthesizers and filters. So it does make it a bit difficult to really show what you got. And of course, it doesn't help that such things like auto-tune exist. But yeah, it's annoying, but I think it's something that I'm going to have to learn to deal with, The average person is not going to think, especially with the whole talk of AI these days, people are not going to talk of or even believe that there are actual people doing actual performances. I mean, hell, there are a lot of times when someone will actually do a performance of just chatting with chat as this fictional character, be it like just a anime or cartoon character, or like is the case with Galgura, a shark girl. And some people think, oh, this is just synths, and it's like, no, it's not, and it's there's a lot of people out there who have a hard time believing there's actual people. I guess that's everything for I guess this is a rant, I would say. Yeah, I mean, there's no script here or anything like that. Just getting my thoughts out there. But I will admit, it would be nice to see Roomie actually look into these people who do these virtual performances, go into it the mindset of not so much looking at it as another Vocaloid thing, but more as something akin to the Gorillas or Alvin and the Chipmunks. Although with that said, no more of that. So that is it. I am Neko Vermillion, and I thank you for watching.